Hey everyone, it's Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, here once again to tell you what you could see in the night sky, share with you all those things, treasures that you can see in a clear night anytime this week. So thanks so much for joining me again. I hope you're having a good day and that you will have some clear skies to see at least some of this amazing stuff that's happening in the skies above our heads. So without further ado, I've got my sky charts set up, and of course the big buzz this week still is, of course, Comet NEOWISE. And a lot of you are asking, is it still visible? And yes, it is visible, but not really to the naked eye. It's now, as of just this first weekend in August, the visual brightness of the comet has lessened quite a bit, where it's now around 5.5, almost magnitude 6, somewhere there, which is really at the limit of naked eye visibility. So the actual tail of the comet is probably not really visible, but you could probably see the faint fuzzy nucleus if you're in a dark site far away from the lights of the city, and definitely something that's still easily visible through binoculars. It's a great binocular object and a great object for astrophotography, and there's still beautiful photographs still coming in of the comet as it's receding away from our planet now, and it's heading out into the outer solar system. It's on a 6,000 year journey out to the reservoir of comets that is the Oort cloud that exists way beyond the orbit of Pluto. So we've got our sky chart set up where you can see Comet NEOWISE wherever you are around the world. And this is something that is particularly good for those of you that are in the northern hemisphere. So what we have here is, of course, the familiar shape of the Big Dipper. The Big Dipper is a great, wonderful guidepost in finding NEOWISE, and has been for now over about 2 weeks now. How as the comet, which is now, you can see, positioned right here in back of the tail of the Ursa Major, the Great Bear, and it's traveled basically up the sky like this in the northwest. This is after your local sunset, about an hour and a half after your local sunset, and even more, even 2 hours after your local sunset, you can see NEOWISE. NEOWISE is much fainter, so a pair of binoculars will definitely help you in tracking down this icy visitor from beyond. So remember, it has a 5 kilometer across nucleus, and that icy, basically a dirty icy snowball is what it is. That's 5 kilometers across. And that's what's basically melting because of the heat of the sun. But as it's moving away from Earth, it's becoming a more harder object to actually see. But there you go, you can see it right there, and with a pair of binoculars. And another great guidepost, if the Big Dipper is not enough, you've got Arcturus, this beautiful orange star that's about 35 light years away from Earth. And it's the lead star in the constellation Boötis. Now, what does Boötis look like? It's the mythological charioteer figure. It looks like basically a giant ice cream cone. That's what a lot of people have told me. I think it looks like a giant kite hanging in the sky, and you can see it right there. There's, I guess, the cone and the ice cream portion on there, the scoop of ice cream on top. But I guess, a kite or ice cream cone, it's a faint constellation, but it's visible even in suburban skies if you have some moderate light pollution. And definitely Arcturus will knock your eyes out. It's a beautiful orangey star, and it's just to the left of the Big Dipper. And guess what? The comet is kind of in between the Dipper and Arcturus, and you can see it right there. That's where the comet is right now. So that's where you're going to see the comet. Now, if we move a little bit towards the southeastern skies, you'll notice that there are 3, of course, brilliant objects, and the one that you'll see, this is being recorded on August 3rd, Monday. Monday, the full moon will be right near, in a lineup with 2 bright star-like objects. That's Saturn and Jupiter. So you've got 3 worlds of the solar system lined up perfectly on Monday night. And this is just fantastic. If you've got a pair of binoculars, you can see the moons of Jupiter. Here you go. I'm going to zoom in on it, and you can see this. Again, this is in the southwest after your local nightfall. You'll see the moon guiding you to these 2 beautiful bright objects. And of course, Jupiter, with a pair of binoculars, you'll see the moons. You'll have Io and Callisto on one side on Monday night, and on the same night, you'll also see Ganymede and Europa. These are the 4 major moons of Jupiter, ones that Galileo, the Italian astronomer, saw with his primitive telescope back in 1609. You can actually see that with your binoculars. Just hold it really steady. That's the key to being able to see these 4 big moons. And if you watch it over the course of the week, night to night, you'll notice that these moons will move in their positions. It's really, really cool. So if we'll zoom back out and we'll see Saturn. Now, if you have a small telescope, of course, bring it out. And if you've never seen it, Saturn with its rings are absolutely spectacular. There you go. You can see the moons of Saturn as well, but those rings are fantastic with a small telescope. But you just need a small telescope. Binoculars are not quite strong enough in magnification to see those rings, but a small telescope will do the trick, and I tell you, it's a wow planet. That's what I get whenever I show people for the first time at a star party. Saturn, they've never seen through a telescope. They can't believe that it's real because it looks exactly like what they've seen in pictures with those beautiful rings. Check it out. Saturn is 1.35 billion kilometers away from Earth, so it's fantastic that we can actually see it so clearly. Remember, that sunlight is bouncing off, the same sunlight that we experience here is bouncing off the cloud tops of Saturn, and it takes over 75 minutes for that light to come back here, reach your eye when you're looking at Saturn, even with just your eyes. Imagine that. So it's really, really cool. And it's something you don't want to miss. So the moon will be right here in the evening on Monday on August 3rd. But if we magically go on to another night, you'll see that the moon will continue moving closer to another very bright object. That's going to be in the east, and that is, of course, Mars. Mars is this brilliant orange object. Of course, we've heard so much about Mars in the news with NASA's Perseverance rover launching just a few days ago, heading off on its 7-month voyage to the red planet. And you can see the red planet for yourself in the skies. After nightfall, look towards the east for a brilliant orange star. It looks like a brilliant orange star. And guess what? The moon will be right next to Mars on Friday. This will be just spectacular to be able to see. It'll be something that the moon will guide you to basically the planet Mars. So let me just quickly get it back here and show you as we move. And I'll just get this organized. There we go. So we can see this is August 7th. So August 7th, Friday, this is the setup. So you'll have the moon and Mars. And of course, Saturn and Jupiter are way back here. So those are the two that you'll see close up to each other. And you'll see that if we switch a next day, that is Saturday, August 8th. Excuse me, that I put it on night mode there. There we go. There's the moon on Saturday, and there's Mars. And watch this. Now, if we move to the next one, bingo, that's on Sunday. So on Sunday, August 9th is when the moon will be right next to Mars. It's a fantastic sight. You don't want to miss it. This is something that just with the naked eye, you'll be able to see wherever you're watching this around the world. This is something that you don't want to miss. You'll be able to see Mars with this brilliant orange color next to the moon. And by the way, we all know why Mars is orange, right? It's that iron oxide rich dusty soil that's just covering Mars. And the sunshine is hitting that dust, that very iron oxide rich dust, and it's the distinctive ruddy color. That's what it gives the planet that very special color. And that's what you're seeing with your naked eye. Basically the actual color of Mars is visible to the naked eye. That's what makes Mars look so orangey red. Very, very distinctive colored star. And right now, Mars is heading to be the biggest and brightest in our skies. So over the course of the next few months leading up to October, Mars is going to be the biggest and brightest. It's what's called opposition. It's why NASA launches its rovers and missions every 2 years when our 2 planets align. So with that, there's a lot to see this week. Again, get out there, look for NEOWISE, look for that Arcturus where the giant kite-like charioteer Buddhist constellation is. Look for Saturn and Jupiter through binoculars and telescopes. Look for Mars hooking up with the moon at the end of the week on Sunday, August 9th. Tons of stuff. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you follow, like, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next video. I hope you stay safe and healthy, and until next time, clear skies. Bye-bye.